Here are just a few suggestions. Number one, cut everybody, and I do mean everybody, some slack. Do the hard work of stopping trying to see everybody through your parents' eyes, through your parents' lenses. Well, my mother taught me this, and my father taught me that. That's the way I was raised. Ask yourself how well you're really living up to your parents' expectations. Well, if you're not, and they're your parents, how can you expect everybody else to live up to that? Number two, even if you don't agree with other people, try to see those who are difficult to love through their eyes. Stop beginning every phrase of complaining with, I don't understand how, and I don't understand why. No, you don't, because you're looking through your perspective, through your lenses. But if you look through their eyes, perhaps it becomes much more clear. That, my sisters and brothers, is compassion. That is bearing with. That is what compassion means. For instance, I, Bill Thomas, don't have any children. But I suspect if I did, I would never put my babies on a bus with people that I don't know and send them to a strange country where they don't know anybody. I wouldn't do that with my pets. But I have to look through the eyes of people who are doing that to understand the desperateness of their situation. I, Bill Thomas, don't believe I would ever kill a baby. But I know that I am descended from slaves who murdered their own babies rather than have them grow up to be slaves. Looking through another's eyes, compassion is startling to see. And then when you and I have that information, it is often more startling to bear. And finally, number three, really having enough faith to get yourself out of the way no matter how you feel about a situation, and really believe that whatever you are going through with someone else, or some other community, or some other faction, or some other nation, God has the power to work it. That is what that final phrase that Doris read to us means. When God says through Jesus, "Come unto me, all you who are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Words that most of us have heard for years. Jesus is not saying that you don't have to work, or you will have a free ride, or that life is easy. What Jesus says to us here is that the radical work that you do for God's kingdom, for the realm of God, that involves welcome, inclusiveness, and kindness, that involves patience and understanding, that involves forgiveness and compassion, will never be in vain. No matter how hard you feel about it, it is doable. Christ's yoke is easy. Regardless of the world's confusing and frustrating circumstances, that kind of work will always yield huge rewards for the time that you put in. I'm always telling you to go to look at the postings on our Facebook page. And this one really spoke to me because in it, I see God available to each one of us. It takes the word friends and uses it as an acronym. And this is what it says. Friends fight for you. Friends respect you. Friends include you. Friends encourage you. Friends need you. Friends defend you. Friends stand by you. When we make the citizens of the world our friends, then we have a more complete vision of Almighty God. Would you pray with me? God, we thank you for the world that you have given us in which to live. We thank you for food, we thank you for clothing, and we thank you for security. Help us to understand that in attempting to hoard these things from other people or to monitor the way they are passed out so that our way of living is not changed, we separate ourselves from you. On this weekend, when we celebrate this country in which we live that is no longer young, but still not yet old, but is still growing, help us to understand that there is work for us as Americans to do. There is compassion for us as Americans to have. There is love for us as Americans to share. Because ultimately, being an American is a transitory thing. But eternity begins when we see ourselves as one of your children. In your Son's name we pray.